welcome back, spooky cuties. My last video was a bit of a rant about being called a baby bat, so I figured I'm going to do something useful with my time, and I'm going to show you 5 books that I recommend as great resources, whether you're a baby bat, whether you've been in the culture for a while, whether you're just interested in the goth culture. I want to give you 5 of my favorite books on goth. So the first one, I recommend this one to everyone who wants to know about the history, the culture, where it comes from, what it all means, in order, put together. Just, he did such a fantastic job. So this one is, there we go, Goth Chic by Gavin Baddeley, a connoisseur's guide to dark culture. This book is phenomenal. So what I'm going to do with each book is I'm going to read, well, the introduction to this one's pretty long, but I'm going to summarize it and just read a little bit, tell you a bit about each book, give you why I think it's such a great resource, and then, yeah, I'll list everything in the description. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully, hey, you support a lovely Gothic author. So, the first one, the introduction, what is Gothic? Gothic is one of those curious terms we all think we understand, something to do with bats and graveyards. Placed under the microscope, however, it writhes and squirms, proving difficult to pin down. So, what I appreciate about Gavin Baddeley's way of going through the timeline, sort of, is that he breaks it down so phenomenally. So, of course, it starts out with just the origin of the word, where it came from. I appreciate, so of course, he starts out with the running joke in Goth is always the Visigoths. So he starts out with the Visigoths, Gothic romances, Gothic architecture, the Gothic revival in the Victorian era, the most pretentious card game that was ever made. So, The Imp of the Perverse, Gothic literature, so many fantastic books. Oh, Romantic Goth, gorge. Mary Shelley, The Vampire Lovers. The best, my favorite out of all of the Draculas. Gary Oldman was phenomenal. I like the 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula more than I like the book. I am an avid reader. I love books. I love reading. And it took me, in 7th grade, when I had nothing else to do, devouring books, it took me a month to get through it because it was so dry. And I have a dry sense of humor. This was dry, but just, oh, look, it's beautiful. Gorgeous. I love the decision to include at the beginning that, like, Vlad the Impaler and added more of a romance element. I've crossed oceans of time to find you. Amazing. So then after Gothic literature comes Gothic films, and it goes over Gothic cinema, which started out, of course, with Nosferatu. Icons. Oh, did you know he's dead? I swear they made a song about that. So every cover was black. Modern Gothic and horror genre. I love the way he breaks it down. And I've read this entire book. Like, some of the others I'll skim. This one, oh fuck yeah, I devoured it. So stay tuned for terror, Gothic television and radio. Oh, so good. But it's interesting, though, how goth will be popular in so many things. Like, the fucking Addams Family in the 1960s. The Munsters. Oh my god, yes. Even the X-Files. Morbidity, Putrefaction, and Pain. The modern horror movie. Vincent Price. Oh, I love this fucking image. Beautiful. Gorgeous. So much about Vincent. Such, Christopher Lee. Fucking icons. Boobies. Oh yeah, there's boobies in this book. We got Pinhead, we got vampires, we got Beetlejuice. The Seduction of the Innocent, from shilling shockers to graphic novels. But again, I appreciate that it breaks down the timeline of like where the interest in goth came from before there was a subculture. So, when flowers or evil are in full bloom, Gothic music. And it's Susie. It's Goth Mama. She's a better goth mother than me. I'm sorry. Again, I can't get over how good this book is. Because the way that he laid out this book is exactly the way I explain to people just the history of goth when they ask. I love this photo of Johnny Slit. Oh, gorgeous. Why is this iconic image of him scratching his armpit? I have so many questions. A more sinister beauty. Gothic style. So it's going through the fact that it started out with the Visigoths, it started out with history, it started out with literature and film, and then music, and then fashion. And the fashion came from the music, and the music is where the subculture comes from. So, Dark Angels of Sin, Modern Gothic, Sensibility, and Sensuality. And the fact that, of course, because goth, like so many things, is so heavily tied with LGBTQ and kink and everything else, so much goth fashion borrows from fetish fashion, and that's because they're so closely tied together. And of course, body modification. It's adorable. Two witches. There it is. Yeah. More boobies. See, I'm not dumb enough to try to show that, or the fact it even has a still image from the unforgettable gargoyle gangbang from Michael Nin's award-winning porn movie Shock from 1996. Dark shadows overwhelm US, goth rock. Again, the evolution of goth music. Oh, love. The Mission. Oh, I love Fields of the Nephilim. Oh, so many. Oh, Dead Can Dance. Again, of course, Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails. Ministry. One of the hottest pictures of Danny Fell. Oh my god. Love, love, love. I cannot explain how important I find this book for just whether you're starting out in goth, whether you've been in the subculture forever. I recommend reading it, even if it's just a refresher. I like to keep it around. It is my goth Bible. If anyone tries to argue with me, I'm like, get those goth points. So the next one, this one, I love her tagline. This is another one that I read back in high school. So informative, so useful. It is Goth Charm School by Jillian Venters, an essential guide for goths and those who love them. And I appreciate the fact that she breaks it down. She has notes for the goths. The fact that she recommends, like, here's a good excerpt from right here where she's talking about, am I a goth? Unless, of course, you've been dressing that way for years and years anyway, and it's become a personal trademark of yours. The lady at the manor's daily wardrobe includes petticoats and a top hat, so she's not going to tell you what you can't wear such things. Just make sure you're wearing the outfit, as opposed to the outfit wearing you. So, she breaks them down into misconceptions. Are you a goth? I'm already a wee bit, taking a lot of time on my favorite one. So she answers in, am I a goth? Signs and symptoms of having a gothy mindset. The difference between being a goth, not a goth, and being goth yourself, but being goth-friendly. The age gap. Do you have to be spooky every day? Why you shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet, including those silly quizzes. Common misconceptions. Can I comment on their clothing or makeup or ask if they make their own clothes? A brief primer on how to behave and what to wear if you decide to explore the goth scene with your spooky acquaintances. If a goth isn't inexplicably mean to me in the Hot Topic where I get my hair dye, can I name check you and threaten to file a report? So, how to show your support to your baby goth or baby bat without relinquishing the keys to your hearse and everything you need to know about to not freak out. What if my children hide behind me wide-eyed? What if my children run toward them shrieking with glee? How to explain goth to my children if they ask me about it? Goth parents and raising the next generation of baby bats. Like, she covers so much. The never-ending debate about goth music versus fashion. Why the elder goths are always so cranky about the mainstream eyeliner-wearing band du jour. Why Marilyn Manson is not goth. And where do we go from here? Like, I love it. Oh, right. Her husband did some of the OG, different, like, types of goth. There. He did some of those illustrations. Oh my god. So, of course, she talks about Standard Goth Club, Victorian Goth, Perky Goth, Death Rocker, Rivet Head, Cyber Goth, Romantic Goth, Lolita, Gothabilly. I love the very realistic, very adult discussion that this book has. I highly recommend it. It's good, again, for goths and people who love them. Where to get inspiration from. Oh, I love these. The illustrations are so cute. Oh my god. There we go. I believe, I don't know if she's been uploading to it, but Jillian did have a YouTube channel when I was in high school. I hope she's still there. So this one, of course, is a favorite, especially amongst the TikTok goths, and that is Some Wear Leather, Some Wear Lace. Let me see. Yeah. By Andi Harriman and Marloes Bontje. I so said that wrong, and I am so sorry. And of course, that is a quote from the song. Some wear leather, some wear lace, some wear makeup on their face. And yeah, that's an important part of goth. It's the fact that some wear leather, some wear lace, some wear makeup on their face. Like, elitism drives me nuts because it makes the culture so small. Gorgeous. Oh, Andrew Eldritch. Ah, oh, really? Oh, I love it. It even has photos from behind the scenes of some of the most iconic Goth album covers and stuff. Like, this book is fantastic. So obviously this one is very heavily music based, and it's got photos of bands. Like, it is gorgeous. But of course, very heavily music based, which is good. But I like the other two in the fact that it covers more than that. But if you're into the music and the album covers and you just really want to grab some quick inspiration from bands, which is where the goth fashion came from, I do. Like, I'm not going to call it the informative resource that the other ones are. This one's just kind of the pretty goth photo album. This one, I'd say it's worth owning and giving a read, but I actually don't agree with this one as much. It's this one, Goth Identity, Style, and Subculture by Paul Hodkinson. Let's see if I can. Haha. Where can I start? Like, this one is interesting, and it breaks it down as reworking what a subculture is. But it definitely, this one is way more fashion-based. I'm gonna go with that. Like, it's just, goth is a subcultural style. Yeah. Like, yeah, I do recommend this book. I do say you should give it a read, give it a look. One big gripe that I've had for years is that pretty much all these books, oh, by the way, look it. It's a goth that's not wearing makeup. Someone call the elders. A gripe that I have about all of these is, of course, in a subculture with so much whiteface, they've really whitewashed the history and leave out so many of the amazing, influential people of color from all of them. Like, it's a pain in the ass, so it's great if you just want to see white people, I guess. But if you want something more interesting, I will always recommend and boost diversity in a subculture that is supposed to be nonconformist. And this one, the last one I want to talk about that I haven't actually fully read yet, but I still want to include it. This one, it's a very thick book. So this is Mick Mercer's Music to Die For. And this one, the photos. I love Amelia Arsenic. I looked up to her so much when I was younger. So of course that's Amelia Arsenic from Angel Spit. She's one of the inspirations for I made my stage name Patricia Absinthe back in the day. So this one, of course, is definitely... Holy shit. Oh, dude. This is some history. So it's got the... like, it's listing off the band's MySpace pages. Holy shit. Dude, this is so cool. Now I remember why I haven't gotten too far into this book. It's an index. Okay, yes. I lied, and I definitely want to move this up the list. This isn't just like a history book. Yeah, I'm gonna, you'll notice if you look in my description box that this is higher up. It's a fucking index. And I remember why I didn't do much with this book, because, dude, this is so fucking cool. So this is for, like, say you're at any event or you're online and you hear someone mention a band name. This is literally a goth dictionary. Dude, that is the fucking coolest shit ever. It's like the Bauhaus entry. Gothic, formed 1978, Northampton, Peter Murphy, vocals, Daniel Ash, guitar, Kevin Haskins, drums, David J. bass. Discography, it lists off everything, BauhausMusic.com. So it talks about what the Battle of Ninja Man's Japan, Psychobilly, Tokyo. Dude, this is amazing. How many years is this from? 2009. Oh my god. This is a book of history. Oh my god. Ah! This shit is too cool. Oh, now I wish I had spent more time with this book. I am enthralled. I am so happy. Let's see. Like, it's double cool. The fact that because of the timing, it's literally, it's a time capsule of what the bands were. Dude, this shit is awesome. So yeah, this is an amazing appendix. That, of course, I mean, sure, now you can just Google it anyway. But I mean, even imagine you're having a day where you want to listen to a new band. You just flip it open and find somebody. Oh. But of course, because it's from 2009. Oh my god. This picture of Mr. Fiend looks so happy. To be fair, he always does, but oh my god. Yeah, I'm so moving this up my recommendation list. Because even though it's not a resource in the way that you're not going to learn the way you will from those ones, the fact that this book, oh, that is the coolest shit ever. I am so glad I got this. Ah. Oh, love. Absolutely adore. Yeah, you have a day where you're like, I don't know what to listen to. You just... Ooh, Moonspell. Morbid Poetry. But yeah, these are some bands I have never heard of. And I was just bitching that I'm not a baby bat. This is amazing. Yeah, you open it and you go, Nightwish. Nightmarish. I don't think I've heard those. Dude. 9 Inch Nails, of course. Oh, this is amazing. Omnia. Yeah, the fact that if one day you're bored and you're like, I don't know what I want to listen to, I want to listen to something new, flip it open and you just go, Southern Death Cult. We're gonna give that a listen today. Like, that shit's fantastic. Holy shit. Give this a listen. A listen. Give this a buy. Yeah. Well, then I'm amending my order. I'd say, for the most useful, informational, your Goth Bible, your most ah-ha-ha to anyone who's a butthead to you, is definitely Goth Chic by Gavin Baddeley. I love this book. Again, it's phenomenal. It's an invaluable resource. You learn so much, and it's broken down in such an easy-to-follow way. Absolutely love this book. Fantastic. Highly recommend. If you only listen to me about one thing, and the thing I talked about the most, that book. for the essential guide for goths and those who love them. Of course, I do recommend. So this is a bit more of the more relevant and useful, but still interesting, still great resource. Jillian Venters, The Lady of the Manors. This book, Music to Die For, is holy shit. It's a time capsule. Especially if you're older. This is fucking cool, especially bands that eat your makeup. Bands you haven't heard of in years. You're like, holy shit, what are you? Edible Clowns and The Gentle Fracture. Shit that you might want to look up because Concombre Zombie. You're just like, what is that? I need to hear it. Oh my god. Amazing. So good. If you essentially want a beautiful goth scrapbook, and I love it. Oh, next time something to do, goths are blonde. Bam, bitches. Look at that blonde. Fuck you. Love. Love, 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 love. And this book is gorgeous. I wish I had had the money for the hardcover, but I got the floppy one instead. And then just another very dated resource, but again, I find it interesting. It was Goth. Goth by Paul Hodkinson. It's interesting, identity, style, and subculture, but again, very heavily fashion-based, which is fine if you got all the books I recommended, and you want just a fashion-related one, but otherwise, yeah, I put it last for a reason. But anyways, lovelies, I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed hearing me blather on for a while, feel free to subscribe and hear more. My TikTok, I talk a lot less, obviously. I have my Instagram, my Twitter, spicy and non-spicy, my OnlyFans, everything linked down below. Leave me a comment on which book you've read and liked the most, a recommendation you have. Like, tell me about it. Let's have a little book club going on. And of course, like this video if you like me. Thanks for hanging out with me, lovelies. Have a wonderfully weird day.